Hello friends, in today's video we're going to add the archive functionality in Odoo with no code. For example, if we go to contacts and we select a record and we click on actions, we see right here that there's an archive functionality. And if we archive a record, we basically hit it, and we can also do this in form view. For example, let's click on Abigail Peterson and we click on the gear icon, and it also has the archive functionality in form view. And when we archive a record, we see that there's a ribbon right here. And if we go to contacts, we don't see the records anymore. And let's say we want to see the archive records. We click right here and there's an archive filter right here. And we can see the records that we just archived. So this is a cool functionality if we just want to hide records. And the contacts app has this functionality, but the sales app doesn't. So we're going to add this functionality to the sales app. So to begin, let's go to settings and let's activate the developer mode. And to add the archive functionality, we need to add a specific field to the sales order model. And to do that, let's go to technical and let's click on models and let's look for the sales order model. So these are the fields for the sales order model, and we need to add a specific field to add the archive functionality. So let's scroll down, and where it says add a line, where it says field name, there's an X and an underscore, and after that we just type active. And for the field label, we just type active again. And for the type, this has to be Boolean, so we select that. And we click save and close, and save right here. So now the sales order model has the active field. And let's go back to the sales app. And we see something weird, that the records disappear. And that is because each record has the active field, but it doesn't have a value. And Odoo treats that like a false value, and it means that the active field has a false value, and because of that the records are not gonna show. So they're basically invisible. So but they're still there. So to make the records appear, let's go to custom filter. And right here, we need to look for the active field. This one right here. And let's click on is not set, because the active field for each record is not set. and let's click search, and we see the records are right here, and they disappear because the active field is not set. So we need to set the value for the active field for all these records to true. And to do that, let's make a server action. So let's go to settings, technical, and let's make a server action. So let's click on new, and for this server action, let's give it a name, change active to true in sales. And that's exactly what we're gonna do. We're gonna change the active field to true for all sales records, and that's going to be for sales order. And we need to select execute code, and right here we're just gonna type this. Like, even if you don't know code, just type this. It's very simple, or it's very little. For record in record with an S, enter record brackets, square brackets, and single quotes, X underscore active equals to true with a capital T, and let's click save, and let's click this button right here, create contextual action, and let's refresh the page. And let's go back to the sales app, and the records are still archived, so we need to use the filter, and let's type active is not set, search, and now we're going to select all the records, and let's click on actions, and we are going to run the server action that we just made right here, change active to true in sales. So all the records, the fields are gonna be set to true. And let's remove the filter right here, and we see that the records now show. And let's test this. Let's go back to the home page, and let's go to the sales app. So it's working, but now there's another issue. So when we make a new sales record, the active field is still not gonna be set. So when we create a new sales record or a new sales order, it's going to be automatically archived because the active field is not gonna have a value. And let's see that. So let's make a new record, and let's pick on Aka Foster, and we select a product, cabinet, and let's click save. And this is going to be sales order number 70. So let's go back to quotations, and we see that the sales order number 70 is not appearing and that's because it's a new record and the active field has no value. So Odoo treats it like a false value and it's going to archive that record. So if we go to custom filter, we type active, it's not set, search, we see that new record right here is there, but it's archived. So to fix this issue, we need to make a user-defined defaults for sales order. So to do that, let's go to settings, technical, and we look for that actions, user-defined defaults, and we click on new, and we look for the active field that we made earlier, but it has to be for sales order. So we need to click on search more, and we see it right here. So we click on that, and for this field right here, default value JSON format, we just need to type true, like that, and we click save. So now let's test this. Let's go back to the sales app, and let's make a new sales order. Let's pick Alex Parker. Let's pick a product cabinet, and let's click save. And this is gonna be sales order number 71, and it's a new sales order. So let's see if it's archived. No, it's right here, it appears. Yeah, we see it right here, sales order 71. So that's what we want. When we make a new sales record, it appears and it's not archived. But there's another issue. Let's click on a record 59. If we click the gear icon, we cannot archive. So that functionality is not working right now. And to do that, we need to add the active field on form view. So to do that, let's click on Odoo Studio. And let's scroll down and let's click on existing field. And let's look for the active field. And we need to drag it to the form view. So let's do that. Let's do it right here. And we don't want this active field to show, so we just click invisible. And we close. And if we click the gear icon, we can see the archive functionality right now. And let's go back to quotations, and we don't see sales order 59, so that's working. And on search view, remember that on the contacts app right here, there was like an archive button, because we don't want to keep using the custom filter. So let's add the archive filter on search view. So let's click on Odoo Studio and let's click on Views, Search, and let's drag a filter right here. And on the label, let's type archive. And let's click on new rule. And let's click right here. Let's type active and click right here on active. And let's select is not set. And we click confirm. And let's add a separator right here. And let's click on close. And we see the archive button right here. And let's see if it works. And we see the archive records right here. So we don't have to keep making a custom filter to look at the archive records. We can just click right here and it shows the on archive records. And if we want to see the archive records again, we click on it again. So everything seems to be working. Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe. And if you would like to schedule a free consultation to see if Odoo is right for your business, click the link on the description and we can have a chat. Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe. Have a nice day.